Hello, welcome to LEGO Explorers with Dubuque County Library. My name is Miss Kayla, the children's librarian at the Dubuque County Library. So today our theme and our story for LEGO Explorers is Circus Mystery. So I'll have a story and you can follow along at home, and then there will be 4 different challenges that you're able to do with your Legos at home. So I'll pull up the story here and we'll get started. Circus Mystery, Part 1. The Circus Grande was in town, and everyone was looking forward to the big opening night performance that evening, including Walter King, the owner of King's Detective Agency at the corner of Long Street and Duncan. It had been a slow couple weeks for business, and Walt was looking forward to doing something other than sitting behind his desk waiting for clients. What he did not expect was to have a nervous-looking clown come into his agency at 2:37 that afternoon. Walt had been reading the daily paper when the clown entered, dressed in a baggy polka-dotted outfit, with frizzy red hair that was slightly askew. The detective leaned forward. "What can I do for you, Mr. Miko. My name is Miko," said the clown. "I mean, that's not my real name, but everyone at the circus calls me that." "Ah, the circus," said Walter. "I'm very much looking forward to the performance this evening." "Well, that's just the problem," said Miko. "Our star acrobat fell off her tightrope while we were practicing the show, and her arm is broken. The ringmaster is afraid it wasn't an accident, and someone is trying to sabotage our show. Could you help us out?" Walter tapped his chin thoughtfully. "Sure, let's see what I can find," he said, rising from his desk. He followed Miko across the town to where the circus was set up in the town square, the huge striped big top rising up in front of them. So your first challenge, if you'd like to do it, is to build the circus big top, the big tent. So you can pause the video here and work on building that and start it back up whenever you are ready. Part 2. Upon entering, Walt was met by the ringmaster, a nervous, wiry man with a tall black hat. "Ah, Mr. King, I presume," the ringmaster said, shaking his hand. "It's just terrible what has happened. Let me show you." Together they went to the center of the ring. Merelda, our acrobat, was practicing her tightrope act up there, he said, pointing to the high tightrope, when all of a sudden a ball flies out of nowhere and hits her. She lost balance and fell. Luckily, she got away with nothing more than a broken arm, but I'm afraid someone doesn't want our show to go on. Can you track down the culprit before they strike again?" Walter squatted on the dirt floor, examining the blue ball lying in the middle of the floor. He picked it up and turned it over. There was nothing spectacular about it, except that a long red hair was snagged on it. "Do you know whose ball this is?" he asked. The ringmaster shook his head. "We have several jugglers. It could belong to any of them. But I'm guessing that whoever it was used the ball to try to put the blame on our jugglers or clowns." Said Walt. "And what about this hair? Is there anyone here it might belong to?" The ringmaster examined the hair. His eyes widened. "That might belong to Roaring Red. He's our star lion in the lion taming act. We call him Roaring Red because his mane is a deep red color. Do you think the lion tamer could be responsible?" "Let's find out," said Walt, taking the ball along with him and tucking it into his pocket. He followed the ringmaster over to where the lion tamer was cracking his whip and Roaring Red was jumping through the rings. Again, you can pause the video here. Your second challenge is to build Roaring Red, the circus lion. So pause and start it back up whenever you are done working. Part 3. "Could we talk to you for a moment?" the ringmaster asked. This is Detective King, here to ask some questions about the Morelda incident. Where were you when someone threw the ball at Morelda? Walt asked. The lion tamer pointed down with his whip. I was getting ready for my act right here. I come on right after Morelda. I was making sure Roaring Red was warmed up. I peeked out the curtains to see how far along Morelda was into her act, and I saw her fall. I didn't see who did it, but I did see that the ball came from over by the stunt cannons. Thanks for your help, said Walt. Let's go check out the cannons. The two of them walked over to where a short man was polishing one of the cannons. So for your third challenge, you can build one of the stunt cannons. We'll pause and start it back up for the final part when you are ready. Part 4. This is Daredevil Dave, our stunt performer, said the ringmaster. I'd like to ask a few questions about what happened with Morelda, said Walt. The lion tamer said he saw the ball coming from this direction. I don't suppose you happened to see anything. Daredevil Dave shrugged apologetically. I didn't see who did it. I was getting some powder for my cannon to get ready for my act when the incident happened. It was all over by the time I came back. The only thing I can say is that I found this snagged on the edge of my cannon when I came back. I'm sure it wasn't there before I left. He handed Walter a torn piece of cloth, white, with a red polka dot in the middle. That looks like one of the clown outfits, said the ringmaster. You don't think one of them could be responsible, do you? We'd better talk to them, said Walt, frowning at the piece of cloth. He took the ball back out of his pocket, examined it, then returned it to his pocket. Do you know where that clown Miko went? A few minutes later, Miko was standing nervously in front of them. We found this piece of cloth by the cannons, which is the location the ball was thrown from, said Walter. We also found a red hair, which could have come off a wig, like yours. I was nowhere near the ring when it happened, said Miko. The clowns come on just before Morelda, so I was in the break room cooling down. All I knew was when the ringmaster ran in, pointed at me, and told me to go find the local detective because Morelda had fallen, and he was afraid someone was trying to sabotage our show. Walter continued to glare sternly at the clown. Well, I think it was you, and that's why your wig was askew when you came into my office. That's where you were hiding the ball, wasn't it? Miko threw out his hands defensively. It was askew for me running all the way to your office, he said, looking angry. Besides, it wasn't even one of my balls. All my balls are red. You could have stolen the ball from one of the other clowns, the ringmaster argued back hotly, jabbing a finger at Miko. Walter laid a hand on the ringmaster's shoulder. Easy there, friend. I know that Miko's the one who threw the ball. So for your final challenge, you can build one of the circus acts for that night's performance. So whatever one you'd like to do, maybe you'd like to do the tightrope or one of the other circus acts that you haven't already done for one of the challenges. Also, see if you can figure out how Walter knew that Miko was the one who threw the ball and how he solved the mystery. So you can pause it here, and afterwards, I will tell you how it is that Miko knew, or how Walter knew that it was Miko who had thrown the ball. So if you want to try to figure it out, you can pause the video here and then start it back up when you would like to hear the answer. So the way that Walter knew that it was Miko was that Miko claimed he had never seen the ball. He claimed that he was in the break room when it happened, yet somehow he knew that the ball was not red. He claimed that all his balls were red, even though he never saw the ball. So that tipped Walter off to the fact that Miko was lying, that he had actually seen the ball and that he was the one that had thrown it. So thanks for joining me today for LEGO Explorers. If you would ever like to join our live programs, we do them usually twice a month, usually on Mondays. So you can register for that at our website, www.dubcolib.org. And you can sign up for those anytime and just use your Legos at home. And I come on, read the story, and you can chat with other kids while you're building your Lego creations. So for March, our LEGO Explorers theme will be Across the Galaxy. And we have registration currently up for March, April, and May LEGO Explorers. So you can check that out at our website, along with all the other programs that we've got going on. So thanks for joining us, and hope you enjoyed the challenges for today. And I hope to see you some other time. Bye.